We had about 3 or 4 years where we worked on World AIDS Day. And one of the most moving ones, when you say what was the most moving or joyous, was we did a public event with an artist called Mary Robson. And what we did is we got loads of old hats from charity shops and old clothes. And we had these 16-foot poles, and we made a circle, and it was called Talking Heads or something like that. I can't remember what we called it. And people could make their own person to stick on this pole to put in this big circle. So they're rather amazing, children, and whatever. So they're all absolutely different, all these different, but on this circle. So it looked visually quite stunning. A little scary, because the heads on poles is a funny thing. And we did, and they were there, and it was quite, it was okay. But then, as the wind blew and they fell over, it became quite scary. And people were saying, you have to take those down, it's too near the knuckle. These people were just falling, and whoever they were, whether they were the woman with the fancy hat or And so, unintentionally, if you like, the work that we'd made to kind of celebrate being together, whatever, suddenly became something else that, they were all falling over. And then we had to remove them, and then what do you do with them? How do you burn them? What do you do with them? Those kinds of things are probably the most stop you in you, but it's not anything that possibly many people would experience except the people who are working here, and I think that's great too. It's not exactly taking a risk. The risk is to do it in a way that doesn't either cause offence or all those things, to get it right, to get something right that makes the point, if you like, or even just occupies people at a public event. How do you do that on World AIDS Day? We had people who would walk all the way around, they wouldn't come anywhere near you when you were doing this, trying to hand them a leaflet. Times have changed. Everything we did was... I think we tried to address issues that maybe at that time weren't considered to be within the art frame. But to say we're not denying quality, but working with very experienced and practitioners, so that what you got was something fantastic. But everybody's collaborated on it. Everybody's done their bit. You don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know anything. You don't know what's going to happen, but you trust with your colleague, your fellow artist or whoever, that they've thought about it enough to make it work.